So, how do we live to be 120 years old? Well, choose your parents wisely would be number one. Fortunately for me, my dad made it to almost 101. But I was on a podcast recently with Dr. Stephen Petteruti, and his number is 120. And that's not something I haven't heard a number of times at our anti aging academies and so forth. I don't think anybody wants to be alive at 120 if they're bedridden or not doing well, but remaining active, being, an aged or aging athlete, being able to be active, walking, hiking, having a great sexual relationship with your partner, having vibrancy in your life. The key is hormone balance, number one, addressing changes in human growth hormone levels, which start to decline in your 20s. And there are many peptides we use for that. I love testosterone with ipamorelin or ipamorelin, however you choose to pronounce it. Sermorelin's another good one. And we use actual growth hormone in some patients. And so optimizing all of our hormones, addressing growth hormone, reducing inflammation is a big one. Whether we use a peptide like BPC 157 and with TB 500 to do that, or simply the fact that as we balance our hormone levels, say testosterone, for instance, and growth hormone are inversely related to inflammation. And we measure inflammation markers, C-reactive protein, general and cardiac proteins like homocysteine that are inflammatory that we know we can suppress with methylated B vitamins and folic acid. Those are supplements that are simple to take, one or two a day, to help address that. So there are many things that can be done. And as we maintain our muscle mass, maintain bone density, I can tell you in 20 plus years of doing this, I haven't had one male or female patient develop osteoporosis. And we know that there are statistics that show an 87% reduction in the risk of Alzheimer's and dementia on women that have used natural bioidentical hormone from perimenopause or menopause on. And so why would anyone in their right mind not want to have those kind of numbers relate to themselves personally? And so the sky really is the limit. Things can be pretty tough on our bodies as we age. I can tell you without hormone balance, you're losing the fight. It's a losing battle all the way around. As a sports medicine physician, I've preached diet and exercise for 45 years. Fortunately for me, 23 years ago, when I turned 50, I learned about testosterone therapy, hormone balancing, DHEA, micronutrients, everything that we can do. I now do red light therapy. I spend 2 to 3 sessions, hours a week in a hyperbaric chamber, doing all the things that we can utilize to help us at a cellular level. And my friend Dan Pompa from Park City talks about cellular healing. He offers some master classes as well. And so if you haven't heard of him, look him up on Instagram. He has great information. He'll be a guest here in the near future. And just employ everything that makes sense to you within your budget to be able to be as healthy as possible. Because we know when we have less inflammation, when our immune system is at its peak, which is why I love stem cell therapy, exosomes, things that have a dramatic effect on immune function, on our health at a cellular level. We have to reduce all the toxins in our bodies, and which the high dose ozone blood purification system does. We're adding plasmapheresis next month, which is a lengthy 4-hour procedure where we literally do a full body plasma exchange, purify it, re-infuse your plasma back to you after the aging senolytic cells have been removed. Produces dramatic changes in energy levels, but definitely these things are all longevity factors. And so we have people come in to see us here in Aspen or visit my clinic in Cabo. But if you're a long ways away, it doesn't mean we can't address some of these things and perhaps find other resources for you to access some of these treatments, or you come see us in Aspen once or twice a year. And so it's very simple to implement a personal program. As I tell people, you need to be a student of this. You need to do your own research. You need to dig deep and see what's going on in your lifestyle that may be a negative factor. What's contributing to the aches and pains or the general inflammation? What can I change in my diet? Can I get rid of glyphosate and grains and inflammatory proteins? Well, yes, the answer is absolutely. Yes, you can. And we're finding more and more research, excuse me if this offends you, but that points toward carnivore diet, meat and veggies, actually being perhaps the healthiest form of eating, where we need those proteins, we need the amino acids that are found there. And there are many places that are now, we're seeing that patients with higher cholesterol levels live longer. That's a paradigm shift. We've been lied to by big farm and the governing bodies in medicine for 40 years. We bought it hook, line, and sinker, and it was big farm's aim to make more money, right? Sell more statins. The death rate hasn't changed to 1% in over 35 years. So that's called a clue, but I'll leave it at that. So there really are many things that we can do personally, both with diet, exercise, and lifestyle. Seek out someone like myself. Feel free to give us a call, 970-201-1332, or go on our website at Aspen-Regenerative Medicine. You found this podcast, so Beyond the Fountain of Youth podcast on YouTube. We've got 114 episodes now or more, I think. And by the time you see this, the number will be higher. And I talk about a lot of different topics, and they're all hopefully common sense and things that you can do to live better longer.